What's up, everybody? It's time to start the KSL finals. We've got a great PvP coming up here. Protoss dominating right now in the current meta of Starcraft 1, at least in the KSL maps.
I'm getting ready for some PvP.
My
I don't
ready
want
to
to
come out.
strain anything
Yeah.
when we start, okay?
Yeah.
Because this could be fast, this could be long.
You don't want to pull a muscle
know.
casting.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
We've been doing our pre-cast stretches.
Yeah.
You know.
Cracking all my knuckles, getting my shoulders
Getting my
loose.
spine in line so I don't pop a disc out when the reaver drops start to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You get injured doing that. Okay?
I am so ready
as
to
far
talk
as
about
casting
Pyro.
goes, we don't skip leg day here. So we got a quick video?
네, 변현재 선수를 이긴 선수가 항상 우승한다는 징크스가 있는데
징크스를 이번 시즌에는 깨야지만 이제 시즌 4에서는 결승이 없을 것 같아요.
꼭 그 기록이 계속 이어졌으면 좋겠어요.
유닛 움직임이나 물량이나 뭐 모든 면에서 프로토스 중에 제일 잘하는 선수라고 생각을 하고 있고 대회에서 토스전이 좀 안정감이 있다 보니까 이제 다른 선수들이 못 이기는 것 같아요.
그래서 뭐 이번에도 네, 다전제 그 연승 행진을 꼭 이어 나가고 싶어요.
솔직히 그 정도로 무패 행진을 할 실력은 아니라고 생각이 들어요. 저승사자 느낌이 저와 좀 잘 어울리는 것 같아요. 수왕을 저승 끝까지 데리고 가도록 하겠습니다.
제가 딱 우승을 해가지고 그냥 깔끔하게 정리해야 될 것 같아요. 현재가 뭐 옛날에는 솔직히 온라인에서만 잘했는데 네, 요새는 또 이제 대회에서도 잘하고 방송 경기도 이제 적응을 많이 한 것 같아서 네, 굉장히 무서운 선수라고 생각을 하고 있어요. 저는 사실 현재가 이겼을 때는 잘 안 보고요. 네, 질 때만 좀 찾아보는 스타일이어서 멘탈이 그래도 살짝 안 좋은 것 같아요. 경기 졌을 때 좀 리액션도 크고 표정을 보면 좀 웃기긴 하더라고요. 근데 그만큼 그 게임에 집중했다는 소리니까 좋은 리액션이라고 생각할 수도 있는데 게임 중에는 안 좋은 것 같아요. 솔직히 말하면 부담은 전혀 안 되는 것 같아요. 네, 오히려 상대방이 네, 좀 더 위축이 될 것 같아요. 제 전적을 보고. 현재야 너가 최근에 뭐 결승전 올라가고 뭐 이번에도 또 올라왔는데 그때 준우승했던 그 기억을 다시 떠올리게 해줄게. 아직 형한테는 안 돼.
윤동이 형이 양대리그 우승에 도전하는데 그건 다음에 하고 이번 시즌은 내가 우승을 할게.
아하.
정우동 선수가 제일 잘한다라고 생각을 하고 있지만 이제는 제가 앞서 나가야 될 것 같아요. 결승에서 긴장감 없이 좋은 모습 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
1년 만에 또 제가 결승전에 올라와가지고 굉장히 자신감이 있는 상태예요. 오랜만에 결승전 무대에 서는 거기 때문에 진가를 한번 발휘하고 싶어서 꼭 우승할 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
What is up? We're finally here. We're going to be bringing the players out, having a quick interview, and then we will be hopping into this best of 7.
Yeah, already Reign starts up 1-0 as far as trash talk goes. Mini outclassed in that interview.
Yeah, for sure. Here comes Mini now. One of the new age Protosses we have. He had a hard time in major stage matches, struggled with anxiety, with a little bit of stage fright, I guess you could call it. He seems to have overcome that. He's now in the KSL finals, but he is going against, I guess what you could call in modern terms, the most accomplished RTS player. Dominated in StarCraft 2, a GSL Code S champion, an ASL champion in StarCraft 1, now here to become a KSL champion, winning both, if he does win, making it in both major leagues here in Korea. And if you made it in Korea, you made it in the world in StarCraft 1.
Yeah, the new god of Protoss going up against the prince of Protoss. Will there be a Rexicide tonight, Tasteless?
Regicide? I think so. Some Regicy for sure. So we're going to have a quick interview here with our two players.
자신 있습니까?
Mini, are you feeling confident tonight?
느낌이 좋아가지고 이번에는 우승할 수 있을 것 같아요.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready.
어떤 느낌인가요?
I think I can make it.
일단은 시즌 1이랑 시즌 2
why do you feel that way?
이제 16강만 올라가면 좀 잘 풀리더라고 이번 시즌에 16강부터 이제 좀 긴장감 없이 8강.
Once I got to the round of 16,
그래서 결승까지 이제 긴장 안 하는.
I just felt like I picked up so much momentum. I was doing better and better, and I'm going to ride that here in the finals. Over to you, Rain. How are you feeling?
아무래도 이번 시즌 솔직히 좀 운으로 많이 올라온 것 같은데 예, 운이 아닌 실력인
In this
걸
season, I feel like there were points in
증명하도록
time where I got lucky,
하겠습니다.
이 무대에서
but it's not important. I'm here to prove myself and dominate.
이런 얘기입니까?
아니 저는 사실 이번 시즌은 좀 연습을 많이 못 해가지고
네.
성적이 되게 안 좋을 줄 알았는데
Lately, I had not been as active in StarCraft 1. I didn't expect to actually get this far, and so
네.
I wonder if that's part of the reason why I'm here. But I'm surprised to be in the finals now.
무조건 이길 것 같아요.
네, 앞서보다 더 연습을 많이 했다는 얘기고요. 자, 누구랑 또
He said, but he definitely got ready in the last few days to get this finals, and he should
이범수
take it.
선수가 도와주고 이제 장윤철 선수랑 송병구 선수가 이제
송병구 선수도
도움을 받았어요.
I've been training hard with both Stork and Snow to get ready for this moment.
네,
많은 도움을 받은 것 같아요.
좋습니다. 누구랑 연습하면서 어떤 연습을 했습니까?
All right, I like it. What about you, Rain? How did you prepare?
그리고 또 제가 원래 컴퓨터랑 연습하는 걸 좋아해요.
컴퓨터요?
그래가지고 컴퓨터랑 좀 많이 연습하고 왔어요.
I tend to prep versus
컴퓨터랑
the
연습을
computer,
했다.
is what he said.
자, 마지막으로
Some laughter in the audience to that.
앞두고 한번 들어보겠습니다.
일단은
Yeah.
프로토스 중에 이제 정윤종 선수가 이제 지금 제일 잘한다고 생각하는데 제가 오늘 결승에서 이겨가지고
In
제가
terms
이제
of
최고의
PvP, I
자리까지
think Rain
오를
might
수
be the
있도록
best in the world.
하겠습니다.
That doesn't mean he can beat me in a series, though, tonight. I'm going to take it.
네, 자 이제 정윤종 선수 각오 한마디 부탁드릴게요.
우선
What are your
오늘 일단
expectations,
지던
Rain?
이기던 좀 재밌는 경기 나왔으면 좋겠고 어차피 이제 한 경기밖에 안 남은 거잖아요. 네, 그래서 저도 즐길 테니까 다 같이 즐겨주셨으면 좋겠어요.
네, 정윤종 선수에게
Since it's the
박수
final
부탁드립니다.
match, I'm here. I'm going to enjoy myself.
자, 이렇게 해서 KSL 시즌 3 결승 최고의 프로토스의 대전 지금.
All right, that does it, everybody. We're going to go into the finals. I'll definitely give the victory to Minnie for that interview, Artosis.
Well, Rain said he plays against a computer, so I think he actually is up 2-0 right now.
Okay, so we're going to send the players to their soundproof booths, and then we're going to hop into this best of 7. Now, PvP, it's a funny matchup because the way it operates, it's so centered around the Dragoon and the Reaver, right? You have to be ready for that. There are ways that you can skip getting a Reaver, skip getting a Robo even, but it's risky. Now, with Minnie and Rain, we've seen them take somewhat of an unconventional approach to this matchup. Rain cutting a lot of corners, but Minnie doing, I want to say, playing completely around the way that the matchup operates on a textbook level.
Well, I think that you're probably right about that, but then I look at the way that Rain plays, and he's cutting the corners, but even when he gets behind from that, he knows what to do perfectly from there.
It's crazy because in PvP, you really expect it to be a matchup where once you get a lead, you're able to push that into a closer.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be this, the case at all here with Rain. He seems to be able to wiggle out of almost any position that is bad for him.
Well, it never even feels like there's bad positions. Like, we'll be like, oh, his build got countered a bit. He's not really doing anything with this. And then he just has it perfectly mapped out. So I think there are certainly times tonight where we're likely to see him in a position that we consider weaker. It's just, does he consider it weaker? Because he actually knows PvP better than everyone, including us, probably including Minnie, probably including every other Protoss in the world. His win rate speaks for itself.
I believe it's 86% win rate here, PvP. And a lot of this is based off the modern games he's played. He's had a lot of PvPs lately, and he has crushed it. Not just won it, but basically won every single match in the series.
Yeah.
That's insane. We actually had, actually we're going to throw some graphics up here now, I think, for you guys, and then we'll begin to unpack this more. As you can see, the winner tonight is going to get 30 grand at USD. We are down here at the Nexon Arena in the Gangnam area by Shinonhyun Station. Feel free to come down and join us if you're in the area.
Yeah, if there's any seats left. It looks pretty packed in here right now. Of course, this is the map pool that we have for this season so far. The finals, we're going to start on Medusa, so kind of an interesting, aggressive map to open up tonight.
Yeah, Medusa is, I got to say, for PvP, one of the harder maps to try to master. The early game is going to be very important. You have a wide entrance into your main base and a wide entrance into your natural expansion. So trying to snowball the game with Dragoons can be very strong, but of course if you're skipping observers altogether because you're doing that, then you're playing what we'd call a blind man's PvP, which is incredibly difficult to pull off. So the early game going to be very important. We are giving away prizes here at the Nexon Arena. Mice, keyboards, headsets, mouse pads, all of it, especially if you have a good sign in the audience. So if you're listening to this and you're here in the studio, make a cool sign, you will be rewarded.
Definitely something you need to do, guys. Okay, so looks like everyone's getting some prizes tonight. The two players, they're making 30 and 10K respectively, but really it is about that championship. Don't forget, of course, Voices of Legend. We already talked about that some here tonight.
Do get those voice packs if you can. When you buy that, you're telling Blizzard that you support StarCraft. And by the way, thank you to Blizzard for supporting StarCraft for so long.
Yeah. Even ratcheting it up a few notches as of late, so that's really great.
And so we're going to be hopping into this final match in just a little bit here. Rain versus Mini is going to be so exciting. We're going to see the best PvP we've basically ever seen in StarCraft 1.
Yeah. Well, this should be the epitome of PvP between these two. And we're not just saying that because it's the finals. It's it's actually proven Rain is the best PvP that there's ever been. And the only person that's come close to beating him is Mini. He's the only person that took him to a full series, which would be a 3-2 victory for Rain. Everyone else has been 3-1'd or 3-0'd or 4-0'd, basically. We're going to show those stats in a minute here, but Rain has just been completely ludicrous. But he's played so many PvPs that Mini had enough time to look at those, maybe study those a little bit. He practiced with some really smart players in the form of Snow and Stork, who are the other round of 4 players, actually. They both got smashed, but these are smart players that can help him to analyze these situations.
Yeah, Rain, it's true, some of the stuff he said in the interview, that he hasn't been that active lately. I mean, he streams himself playing some other games, but he seems to be so comfortable in this matchup. He seems to always have an answer for everything that comes at him, but Mini seems to have the best training partners you could ever ask for in modern StarCraft 1. Stork and Snow?
Pretty much.
So I expect Mini's builds to be very, very tailored here to not just the matchup or the map, but to the player as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches this.
It's going to be a tough one to get the right build order here, though, because if you look at the way that Rain has been playing, he as well has had a lot of weird builds and out there builds, very aggressive plays as well. So look at here, 53.3% versus Protoss. Of course, a lot of those losses are to Rain himself. This season so far, he only played 5 PvP games, all against Stork. And yeah, he was in the finals of the last ASL, where he beat Zergs the whole way and then lost to last in the finals.
Mini's story's been very interesting because there's been periods of StarCraft where we've had only the old legends dominate. Mini was sort of in the background. He had, I think, probably the biggest choke of, 2018, where he, lost his shuttle to a Corsair on an island map, dropping the Reaver there. He wasn't good under pressure. Now, he's been crushing everybody, but he's going up against Rain, a StarCraft 2 legend, a GSL Code S champion, a StarCraft 1 modern legend, an ASL champion, which he won in a PvP versus Snow down at Samsung Station. Now he's here to win a KSL. If he does this here and dominates, it's going to be a new chapter in StarCraft history.
Yeah, so as of 2018, he's 26-4 in maps against Protoss. In this tournament, he went 7-0 total against the practice partners of Mini. Never lose against Protoss. Could not have said that better myself. Look at these stats as of 2018. 3-1 Shuttle, who's now in the military. 3-1 Snow, who's the top warrior. 3-0 Movie, who normally makes it into all the leagues. 3-2 Mini, the guy he's about to play. 3-0 Best, one of the remaining dragons. 3-0 Harangi, who's been getting deep into tournaments all the time now. 3-0 Stork, 4-0 Snow. This is ludicrous what he has been doing in this matchup, and the matches don't look close. These maps he's dropping, they seem like, abnormalities, whatever. I don't even know how to speak.
Abnormalities. Now, one thing to note in those stats we had in the previous slide, Mini was the one who went closest against Rain. He lost 2-3.
Yeah.
So he's the only player that showed that he could hold his own really against Rain out of all the best Protoss players currently playing here in 2019. So if he can prepare, if he can be ready, even Mini's admitted Rain's PvP might be better, but what's more important is to win a best of 7. Maybe they play 100 games, maybe Rain comes out on top. But in 4 to 7, I think Mini might be able to pull through here, and that would be insane. We now go into game number 1, Mini versus Rain. All right, Mini is in the bottom left, and Rain is in the upper right. This is a 3-player map, so the adjacent starting location in the upper left.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they end up playing this. Of course, you have that high ground behind your main nexus. It is all flat down on the map, though. There's very few shifts to high ground, just the bordering land around the main bases. So that can lead to a lot of aggressive plays. You don't have too small of a choke to defend. You don't have a ramp to stand on top of. So definitely Dragoon contains can be strong here. Of course, there is Larva and Zeus, our commentator from last season in Zeus, an old pro gamer as well. Larva, of course, the Footstar gamer.
Footstar gamer himself from the controversial Twitch clip at the Zotac Cup. Now, Rain is, again, he's been incredibly dominant. He seems to have this mastery of the early game PvP that I didn't know was even existent or something that you could obtain.
Yeah.
You know, so much of PvP is about trying to get a little bit of an edge in build orders. There's sort of this rotation of different builds that beat different builds in PvP. You know, if they go for a Robo, at times you can just sneak out and expand.
Sure.
If they go for and expand, you can overwhelm them with Dragoons. If they skip tech or skip detection in general, you can win with DTs.
Yeah.
And because of the circular nature of those builds, I never expected to have any player probably pass over 60 to 65% win rate.
Yeah.
At high levels PvP, where Rain is at like 86 here. So that's insane. Now, just to unpack this map, because the early game is going to be the most important part, because that's going to dictate how this game, the trajectory of what this game is going to look like. This map, out of all the maps we have, has the widest berth at the entrance, and it's on flat ground. Which
Flat
means
ground is such a big deal.
Yeah, which means that you can run in with Dragoons, and if you have more, like they skipped a gateway, you can a lot of times overwhelm them. It's different on a map with a small ramp like Fighting Spirit, where you can stay on the high ground and abuse the fact that they might miss shots. So we want to see if either player goes for just mass gateway Dragoon with no observers, and if it works. If not, we're going to have a very interesting mid-game.
Yeah, you know, that is kind of the build that on some of these maps, whether you have the low ground main or some of these wide open things, can make a bit of a rock, paper, scissors of build orders with the mass range Dragoons, which of course would die to a Dark Templar. But if you get that observer, you might have a few less Dragoons. It might be hard to hold on against that. So, you know, it is a kind of an, I don't know exactly what to call it, because it's a little bit rock, paper, scissory, but there are little tricks, little plays that you can try to use to try to get around that as well.
Yeah, and I want to put some emphasis here on when we say rock, paper, scissors, you have time to figure out if you're going to go rock, paper, or scissors. You know, you're not both doing the same move at the same time and finding out what happens. By the way, Rain going for the Dark Templar tech after he's chased the scout out. Now, keep in mind, okay, here we go. Mini's going to go for 3-gate good. So this is a good gamble here by Rain that on paper means that Rain should win. But when it comes to control and when if Mini makes the forge, there are some variants where the 3-gate Goon player can end up winning. So,
absolutely.
To what we were talking about earlier, in this case, it's going to be Mini that's skipping detection. Mini wants to try to come in there and punch Rain in the nose at the ramp, run him over, and start to kill off workers. Now, there's no detection for DT, so if one DT gets over to the main and starts killing probes, the game should end. But an overwhelming number of Dragoons can be microed against the one DT that might be trying to save the main here. So he might end up killing off a lot of workers. Oh, hold on. Rain's good. This is an old school glitch.
Yeah, that's part of the that's why those minerals are there, actually, is so that you can glitch a probe up or
Yeah.
you know, pop a unit up there. It's something that's hard. You have to practice it, and it's a little bit random. It can take some time to get up there, but it is doable.
Now, keep in mind that both these players don't know what the other one's doing. Rain does not know that he has like a close to 100% odds of winning this.
Yes. It is vastly in his favor right
but
now.
we don't know where the forge is. And notice the pylon placement out here. He could hide a forge right up there.
Yeah, sure.
And then we might be in for a very interesting game. Now, you see these Dragoons from Rain running back, so immediately you know, okay, he's not going, if you're Mini, I mean, you know he's not going for 3-gate Goon as well,
Yeah.
which says, well, there's always the possibility of DTs. So we should see a forge thrown down here. Oh, I'm
Second
sorry.
pylon.
I thought there was for sure going to be a forge there.
He might even make a robo, who knows, but
there it is.
The
He knows
forge
now.
is quicker. Okay, gonna shoot one DT by. I think the other one, yeah, will start attacking these Dragoons because he can't hold them off alone. But it will take time for this DT to clear out these goons.
I want to mention one thing here. It's possible to try to go and make a cannon above the natural. I mean above the main here with the pylon there, and maybe you can cover everything that way. So here we go. These Dragoons are being microed very well. There's the forge coming down. The DT is very, very, very close to getting towards the main. Mini needs to get a cannon up. I don't think he's going to be able to get that up in time here as the rest of these Dragoons are about to be picked off. The DT.
Oh, the DT was on an... Okay, here it is. Just finally getting into that main base.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Do we have a cannon being made? Do we have any? There it is. No, GG. Game 1 is won by Rain in a build order build.
Yep, that was a build order victory. Sometimes, like we were talking about, maps like that can become a bit rock, paper, scissors. This time, Rain chooses the right build order. Mini does not. And Rain has that crucial first map victory.
Mini looking a little bit flustered back there. That can happen on a map like that. He had to make an executive decision with no intel at all. He went for 3-gate Goon, which of course is as risky as going DT in some ways. Actually, I'd even say riskier. And so he was punished for that. Now, we'll have to see what the next map is going to be, but it's important to note that you don't normally deal with that problem if it's a map with a small ramp, even actually a pretty big fat ramp. You're usually much safer against something like that.
Absolutely. For so many reasons. You can block your ramp and buy time against the DTs. The 3-gate Goon, what are you going to do? Bust up a ramp? Not against 2-gate Goon, you're not.
No.
Not against a Reaver, you're not. So, yeah, that's going to be one of our maps that is a little bit crazier than some of these other ones.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's going to be a 1-0 loss there for Mini, but I don't think that's going to really dictate how the rest of this series is going to look.
Well, when we hit another map that's like that, because we do have a couple others, right? Eddie, you have the low ground main base. Cross game, for instance, that is one where you have the high ground natural, low ground main. Both of those maps, we can see this same type of scenario play out. So now, this might force a mind game to occur in the next time.
But one thing I want to point out here as well is that there's a difference between wide open flat land, low ground bases, where you can run in, and then having a high ground advantage. If you get the high ground advantage on a ramp, on a map where like they do have a ramp, okay, then the other guy has to turtle, and then you have to come up with another plan.
Yeah.
On Medusa, if you do the 3-gate rush, and you get in there, you're able to then penetrate the main and actually get some kills off, where they can at least abuse the bottleneck if they're on low ground with a ramp. Again, though, it's Rain figuring out the right build early on. He makes the better decisions before the game started, it seems like.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's hard to judge too much, though, because you can't know for sure that Mini's going to go 3-gate there. What if he does go Observer? Then you're going to be a bit behind, most likely.
Or what if you both go DT?
Yeah.
That's another weird situation that can occur there. But it was a wise decision there by Rain. And you can really see that even though the Dragoons get inside of the main base, they're not going to be able to do the damage that a DT can absolutely do. Had he made a forge a little bit earlier, maybe it'd be a different story. We're going to a short break. When we come back, game number 2 in the KSL Finals, Mini versus Rain. Don't go away.
지금 저그 6시로 러커드라 볼 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야? 해설은 예측 해설. 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형. 형 주무실 때 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 저 선수 한두 경기를 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 응? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방으로씩 갑니다. 자, 상대 앞마당 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 지지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 파카닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어몽 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당에서 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠? 할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용주.
쇼미더머니. 상대 선수 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱커 일부러 센즈가 됐고 일부러 통통통통통통통. 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제.
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분도밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 리그로 가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이겨요. 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야 나도 한 판만 하자.
What is up, everybody? We're back here at the KSL Finals. We just had a pretty straightforward PvP. One player going for DTs, the other player skipping detection, and thus Rain is up in a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and look at the map choice by Mini. I think that this is really, really telling. Cross game as the second set. We were talking about it before. It's kind of like Medusa, where you can get in those rock, paper, scissors situations, but at the same time, it's a two-player map. So you can have some crazy things like proxy gates planned out. We've seen some wild games here. I will bet you that Mini has a completely crazy build prepared for this map, something to really throw Rain off.
Now, I want to point out, we have seen in the past, Mini go for
Proxy 2-gate.
Proxy 2-gate. We've seen, was it Stork? Yeah, Stork went for Proxy 1-gate before. And so we want to keep our eyes peeled here for that possibility. It's been trendy with pros, and it could be utilized here. It might even be used by Rain, I don't know. Our game is now going to load up. This PvP continues on. The KSL Finals, Mini versus Rain.
So in the bottom left, we have Mini. In the top right, we have Rain. Feel like Tasteless. If I were Rain here, up 1-0, and this was his first map choice, I definitely want to do something aggressive myself. Throw off whatever his game plan is.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually surprised nobody's going to do the proxy, but I guess it's been kind of worn out at this point in time. And, you know, when that starts to get trendy, that tends to be when proxies are not as viable. Oh, look at that carry. See that, guys? That's how you win.
It's me, Rain. Love it.
That's how. Well, it's not going to be him in this series, buddy. There's no carriers PvP, but that's a great sign. That's how you win.
Maybe family members?
I think it's Minnie's folks.
I think you're probably right. The mother looks like Minnie quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, there are some interesting things about this map if you don't get hyper-aggressive plays or any sort of rock, paper, scissors stuff going on. For instance, you don't necessarily need goon range quickly on this map because your natural is on high ground. So if they're going to fight up the hill, it doesn't matter if they have goon range and you don't that much.
Yeah, I mean, goon range will still help quite a bit, but yeah, I mean, if you're having basically the same number of Dragoons and they have to push up there, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah. And goon range is pretty expensive, so, you know, that can allow you to skimp a little bit. We'll see if something like that occurs. I think it's really interesting that neither player is opening hyper-aggressive.
Yeah, and so we're finally going to get to flesh out a more standard PvP on this map.
Both games so far, Rain has scouted a little bit for proxies. Like he looked behind his, you know, on the high ground behind his main base on Medusa, and here he's looking for, that's where Mini proxied his 2 gates last PvP he played here. But Rain, he's still playing somewhat safe, right? He's doing that little bit of extra scouting early on.
So we now have Mini's probe coming out on the map.
Yeah, they both started as Zealot, I believe. So they jumped from 14 to 16.
Manor piloning has been an issue in PvP historically. We haven't had any yet here. But if you do pull it off in the early game, it could be quite strong. But this appears to have every signal that we're just going to get into a standard game for once on this map.
That's going to be fun. I just haven't seen many of those standard here.
I agree. Also, if they both try to expand by skipping range here, that would be very interesting.
I think it definitely is a reasonable thing to try out.
Yeah.
So the probes did get it on either side. So Zealot's chasing them. Eventually that Dragon will come out to get the probes out of the bases.
You really don't want to make any tech until you...
Oh.
You really don't want to make any tech until you've killed that probe off.
Yeah.
Since any tech that you show, they're just going to try to do the counter for it. And at this level of play, if you show tech, you're almost guaranteeing that it's going to be canceled. Unless you really want to go mind games, like show a Citadel and then actually DT rush.
Totally.
That happens every once in a while. And so with no scout here in the main base for Mini anymore, Mini still has not revealed his tech. I believe it, let's see, is it going to be a Robo? There it is.
Okay, cool.
And Mini actually may be banking on doing a very standard Dragoon Reaver push. That's kind of the bread and butter, orthodox PvP. You can't play this matchup unless you can Dragoon Reaver push. But at high levels, a lot of players are trying to outmaneuver that specific approach. And so in this case, it's going to be Rain that's trying to do the outmaneuvering if indeed this game goes in that direction, and I think it is. Rain's going to try to get an expansion up. He's already started it. Mini, on the other hand, has a Robo here. We'll see if he gets Observers. There are some weird modern builds where they skip Obs and another kind of roll of the dice and attempt to get a very strong Dragoon Reaver push out right away.
Sure. Now, the one thing I'm kind of interested about here, you mentioned the Dragoon Reaver push. It's definitely something that we do see a lot of the time, you know, in PvP, but pushing up a ramp is ridiculously hard. You know, your Dragoons are just going to miss so many shots on your opponent's Dragoons. Sure, the Reaver won't necessarily miss.
Yeah, I think the bigger factor is going to be the Reaver here. The
but
Reaver,
even gaining that vision, you know?
You got a shuttle. I mean,
you do, but if you push that so far forward, right? The thing is, even with a normal push against ranged Dragoons, it can be a little bit scary. But going up a hill, I feel like if he gets aggressive with this, it won't go well for him.
We'll have to see. I actually kind of like what Mini's going for here.
Okay.
We've seen this this style of play, and it was actually, I think it was Rain who did Rain beat? Snow? Yeah.
Yeah, in the last round he did.
In the last round. Now, if you go for Robo into Observer into your own Reaver on the ground, and they have rushed for Shuttle and Reaver, your Reaver will beat their Reaver. Subtracting all of Dragoon play, your Reaver beats their Reaver. And if your Reaver kills their Reaver and your Reaver remains alive, you will win the push, at least on paper. There's always things that can go wrong with Dragoon Reaver Shuttle. It's among the clunkiest unit compositions to try to control. You need to be a real expert to navigate through pushes with stuff like this, because there's so much that, again, that can go wrong. But
it's interesting to point out that actually the Reaver tech is quicker here for Rain than for Mini, because he did get that Observer first.
Right.
So looking at this right now, I am really, really favoring Rain's position.
Note the position of the Observer here for Mini. Mini's masking his push very well. And so, when that Observer comes there, what Mini wants to do is pounce on this Observer and continue to create ambiguity about what Mini's up to. So you see the Observer has to run.
Just going to get out, yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, ideally you kill it, but in this case, he still doesn't confirm that there's an expansion.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, anything can be going on at this point in time. Now, there's the Reaver. Let's also watch for a battery when this push starts to come. Now, this should be timed out where you take the first Reaver and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait for the second Reaver, because by then they might have their own shuttle.
Yeah.
And so he's going to come up here.
Did he get goon range? Because I know he skipped it at the beginning. He must have,
I
right?
actually didn't check. So here the Observer sees it, but it's basically too late. The rush is already starting. Now, Artosis was pointing out correctly so that the high ground, it's harder to push up, although I think he may have to go so far back. I think some of Mini's Dragoons get on the high ground anyways.
Yeah, I think for sure some will. And I love that he's leading with those Zealots. He wants those to actually take any shots.
Here we go. He wants to get a shot off on this Reaver, and it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very, very difficult. He actually miscontrols that, and the shuttle goes down.
Oh, a huge victory there for Rain. Now, can he hold on against his superior amount of Dragoons? He's pulling his probes out now. He does get a couple Scarabs off. Oh my God, it's a massacre.
That's it, GG. Rain completely shuts down the rush. Now, had the Reaver and the shuttle stayed alive a little bit longer, maybe Mini could have come up with a solution there, but instead, Rain just owns him. Look, swallowing his push-up and spitting it back out.
I will absolutely give Mini game one. That's, it's that situation where you're going for a powerful build, your opponent just happens to counter it. That's a hard loss. When I see people do a dedicated one-base push uphill, it really, everything in me from 20-plus years of StarCraft 1 screams against that.
So, sometimes in RTS, the thing that doesn't seem to make sense at the highest level of play can actually be a good move because the other player is just not, he's not factoring it in as a possibility. And I think that's some of what was happening back there, is maybe Rain skimps a little bit on defense, but I do agree. That's not a build tailored to the map at all. Unlike the builds they both did in game one.
Yeah. Rain's build, I would say, is tailored to the map.
No, Rain's build's fine. Yeah. That's also a build you can do on pretty much any map, by the way.
Okay. It's just he went so late into the Dragoon range, right? So.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry, but the idea, the other version of that, the standard version, is you just get range and then you push out with the Reaver, get the Nexus and the Observer. I do like the idea of Mini trying to catch the Observer before the push.
Yeah, that's good.
To be frank, though, if you're going to do something like that, you might as well try to Reaver drop the main, maybe? Now, actually, the minerals are pretty far away, right?
Yeah, they are.
From anywhere you can get out of.
If you had like speed shuttle or something, but
maybe you try to get shuttle speed and get a second Reaver and try to play that game. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to make that attack work. Again, you're on the high ground at your expansion, so in StarCraft with the possibility of miss, it's not good for you. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, game number 3 in the KSL Finals.
지금 저그 6시로 러커드라 올 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야? 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무실 때 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 조 선수 한두 경기를 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 응? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자 상대 앞마당 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 GG. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 박하닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
아이, 간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어몽 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야, 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당해설 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
에이,
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용주.
쇼미더머니 상태에서 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱커 일부러 세주가 됐고 일부러 통통통통통통통 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이 진리지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분도밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 리그로 가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이겨요. 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
All right, we're back at the KSL. So far, Reign, the favorite in this finals, is up with a 2-0 lead, but we are far from finished.
Yeah, and look at Mini's pick again. One of the maps we were talking about where you can get into these wild situations, rock, paper, scissors type scenarios. Again, it's not guaranteed, but it's common. Eddie has the low ground main, the high ground natural. 3K Goon, super strong. DT can beat it. Observer, of course, beats DT. What are we going to see here on Eddie from Mini?
We are moments away from starting this game. Again, Reign, an ASL champion, is now here to win the KSL, but Mini, you gotta love an underdog. One of the newest top-tier Starcraft players is here. He's beaten plenty of other good players to get here, including Protoss players, but he needs a comeback, and hopefully he can start it here on the map, Eddie.
Well, if he drops this map, it is the most uphill challenge anyone's ever faced. Okay, like Reign is so strong in this matchup, and he's choosing the maps where, you know, you really do have a fighting shot as Mini, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Even if Reign is 4 times better than you can pick a build order that will sometimes win you the game.
Sure. Absolutely. I believe we're actually about to jump into this game. So the finals continues on. Mini versus Reign. Right now, Reign with a 2-0 lead. Okay, we have both players hugging the right side of the map. Mini in the north. I'm sorry, Rain in the north and Mini in the south.
Yeah. See who gets a scout who first here. How much of a difference that's going to make. Of course, there are a lot of possibilities. Remember, we saw the Nexus first on this map from Stork.
Right.
And it seemed like it was kind of cool, and then Mini just plowed through him with the proxy Reaver tech. I don't think we're going to see anything that wild, but he did practice with Stork, so maybe Stork told him, you know, this is a good build.
So, one thing about maps like this, oh, make it rain. Thanks for coming down, guys. Yeah, one thing about this map is if you get contained, it's very, very hard. Ooh, look at that. He's got the Voice of Legends back.
Ooh.
Still in the Rappy.
Yeah.
That's going to be worth like $1 million.
Yeah, or at least 45.
At least. Maybe even, I don't know, I can't go down in value, right? It can only go up.
Oh, of course.
It cannot depreciate, right?
It's amazing.
It's like a rare painting.
At least.
At least, maybe more.
I would hope so. I mean, is a painting art? I don't know. Is StarCraft art? Yes.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
Like, I mean, people can argue back and forth. I don't know. I'm not an art major.
Yeah, go take a philosophy class on is it art or not. But here, it's just a fact. It's a hard fact.
With StarCraft, yeah, it's very, very clear.
Now, we've got, so far, gas tech on both sides. It's going to be Rain who scouts initially. It appears Mini's going to do an alternative approach to this where he just doesn't scout for a while here. In other words, Mini says he's going to open with a pretty well-rounded build. Now, one thing is if you don't see the probe come at you at all, you're usually guessing that it's not going to be, let's say, like a DT rush or something kind of crazy that requires you to get in and get some intel.
So Mini now going to scout after that core. We'll see which direction he goes in. Does he go to the left? Yeah, it looks like he's going to.
Okay.
So they're both going to scout each other pretty late.
So I stand corrected. I thought Mini might wait a little bit longer, but instead, yeah, scouting after core, just getting a few extra minerals there before trying to get an idea of what's going to happen in this game.
Well, what are you thinking? What are you looking for right now, Tasteless?
Well, I mean, on this map, we want to watch and see who's going to try to get control of the map. The only thing that you can do, I'm sorry, not map, the ramp. The only thing you can do besides that is maybe just go for DTs. You know, if you do the DT rushes, you've kind of played around the map itself.
Yeah.
You're going into more of a build ordery approach.
Did Rain completely skip a Zella?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
Huh.
Well, I mean, you can. It's very risky.
Yeah.
Especially on this map because you can be man or pylon in certain little slots here. But if you skip it, you have a little bit more tech momentum.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that works in PvP, but it's a pretty big difference. The only thing that you want to be careful about too is like if you get 2-gate zealot rushed like in the middle of the map or something weird, or stuff like that could be problematic.
Oh sure, yeah, you're going to lose sometimes to some builds. But you know what I really like about Rain's PvP overall is every game, even though he's the best PvP player, sometimes you see the best player in a matchup revert into very safe builds because they're like, oh, if I just live, I win.
Right.
But part of the reason why Rain is the best is because he's taking little risks every game.
Yeah, it on the surface level can look like everything is pretty standard, but even trying to skip the Zealot there is pretty cool by him. They're both going for Robo here.
So maybe Reaver Expand, or do you think that they're going to go into Observers?
Possibly both. I mean, if you do the Reaver Expand, you get Observers as well. Always.
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering about the speed of the Observers, right?
Well, if you're going to do a Reaver Expand, you basically just get an Observer. Pretty much always, because you need to, while you're expanding, you need to figure out what their tech's going to be. By the way, great scout. He sees the Robo. Big win there for Rain. Knowing is, in PvP, more than half the battle. Now,
my God.
Rain.
They both go into 3 gates with their Robo.
So, in this case, it is going to be a Dragoon Reaver Observer dogfight.
Okay. Now, wait a minute, though. As Rain, don't you skip Observer here? Just go right into Reaver? Because you know they have a Robo, so they don't have DTs. You don't need the Observer.
Well, no, I mean, you still actually need the Observer in the long run for sure, 100%. You need to see what they're doing.
You and Rain are dumb. He doesn't need the Observer.
You need to figure out where they're coming at, because Reaver, if this goes on long enough and you're getting shuttle speed, you need to see the Reaver coming, the shuttle and Reaver coming. And having the Observer there and spotting when they expand is also incredibly important. So you basically just never, ever skip the Observer. It's just you're going to need to get it out. Plus, if you're doing this right, you have a shuttle and then you have your 2 Reavers. And then what? You need to get the observers anyways. But even to get the observer out in between the Reaver or in between the shuttle is a good idea.
Okay, well, he is getting the observer tasteless, so you're going to have your cake this time. But look, both of them going to have a very similar unit set. Rain with a bit more intel at the moment. So you got to favor him slightly, but let's see what Mini can do in a situation like this.
Okay. He's going to come up now. Some of this is a little bit of observer footsies. Okay, this is big. I'm actually shocked that Mini went that route. I guess Mini's still damaged goods from DTs.
Yeah. And now he knows that he is against basically the same thing, and Rain has a slight advantage.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, wait, did they actually get the robotics facility?
No.
I'm sorry, I thought for sure they were going to go 3-gate Goon, but instead we're going to have a 3-gate Goon Observer with no Reaver. I thought, now 3-gate Observer, no Reaver, what you're doing is you're trying to catch their shuttle and Reaver if they do that.
Totally.
And kind of play from there. But instead, this is just going to be straight up Goon Observer, which is a very valid way to play the game, by the way.
Yeah. Now look at this. Rain coming down and actually forcing the engagement. He's skipping over the Zod, just microing forward with his Dragoons. One of his Dragoons actually froze up there. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, not bad control here by Rain, but he's got himself sandwiched in a bit of a corner here. Looks like he's going to start to win this fight with just superior control. 3 versus 3 here with the Dragoon shots coming down, and Mini will eventually come out on top with a win there.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, Rain was very close to taking that advantage, and a Goon froze. It seemed like he had a couple missteps, and now it looks like Mini has a big advantage as 3 more Goons are coming up.
Yeah.
He has 3 more units.
He might just be able to win this based off momentum here. There is Reaver Tech on the way, but it's a long way to push up onto the high ground. Mini should, especially with 5 Dragoons total, get dominance here on the ramp. The Nexus is canceled, and this is looking great for Mini.
Oh, I don't know if there's any way here. He's going to have to drill his probes. Here they come right now. The Zod, they're definitely going to help out quite a bit as well. His Goon's starting to fall.
The probes did not quite stick on the Dragoons, and that's going to be it. GG.
All right.
Mini takes his first win against Rain.
Finally. Chills, man. I was getting really nervous that this was going to be a 4-0 or something. But no, Mini fights back. You could see the relief on his face finally taking that map off of Rain.
Yeah, big victory there. That could have been a game that went to dead even, but Rain opted to initiate, I think, thinking that Mini didn't have an observer that could spot for him. Maybe he could get into a better angle, but it's hard to take big Dragoon fights like that in the middle of the map. You know, you really, it's very, very tough.
A little bit of miscontrol. One of his Goons freezing during the battle.
Yeah.
That can absolutely happen. You're attacking at the max range, they move out of it. That's going to freeze a unit on the ground. You know, the Zealot actually got more hits than I think Rain was expecting there, because normally what you do is, you'll take a couple hits from the Zealot, but you're moving so much, the Zealot has a hard time catching up and really putting out its damage.
So there's nothing that makes Rain have to attack in there. I mean, it's always a risk when you're trying to dive in PvP because Dragoons are so buggy. So the fact that he came in there like that, it probably would have been better to stay back and try to drag the game out. But, you know, Rain is somebody who's able to make decisions on the fly like that. It wasn't a bad move, but there was risk involved. And, of course, when Mini comes out on top, then you have enough Dragoons to push forward, and then it becomes about the ramp once again. Whoever controls the ramp is able to deny the expansion. And in this case, Mini had so much control. Not only did he deny that expansion, he actually killed the base as well.
Yeah, as soon as he won that battle, what an overwhelming advantage. Obviously, to afford the Nexus, you have to skip around to Goons anyways.
We're going to go to a break. When we come back, Game 4 here in the KSL Finals.
지금 저그 6시로 러커 드랍 올 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야? 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무실 때 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 저 선수 한두 경기로 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 어? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자 상대 앞마당 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 질지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 파카닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
아이 간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네.
아.
어몽 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지. 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 어? 지지?
사드론이 뭐야 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당이살 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
에이 킹
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용주.
쇼미더머니 상탄소 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱커 일부러 센즈가 됐고 일부러 통통통통통통통 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설에 의한 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 리그로 가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이겨요. 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
Okay, welcome back. We're here at the KSL Finals. Mini has got his first win. The question is, can he get 3 more? That game came down to, I think, a tactical blunder by Rain. That Mini, you know, he won the fight, and I think he very intelligently drove that game as quickly as humanly possible to its logical conclusion, which is that he had a superior number of Dragoons. By the way, when you win a big Dragoon fight and you have a superior number in 3-gate versus 3-gate, things spiral out of control pretty quickly. He came in, forced the cancel on the Nexus, evaluated how Rain's main looked, and said, I am far from done here.
You know, he won. Congratulations to him, but I think that comes down heavily to a micro error on Rain's part.
Right.
Where Rain actually had a slight advantage due to his scouting capabilities and getting that observer. So, yeah, Mini wins a game, but you look at the types of games that Rain loses, and like that could have been a Rain victory as well. So, going into set 4, this is Rain's first map choice of the evening. It's going to be Coliseum. Tell us about PvP here, Tasteless.
PvP is it's a lot of fun on Coliseum. One thing to note is that you basically are always able to take your natural. There's no natural that you're trying to expand onto new territory. It's essentially within the realm that you automatically control with your main. So getting the base up is easy, but contains on this map are a pain in the ass, Artosis. So let's see how this game unfolds. Rain versus Mini, game 4 starts now.
So in the bottom left, we have Mini In the bottom right, we have Rain. Sharing that bottom location. I'm excited to see what happens here. This is a map where we've seen Rain play very aggressively in PvP. Lots of Dragons.
Sorry. I definitely like this spot for Mini a little bit more. That natural base is very, very droppable with Reavers.
Yeah, that's
the
very
minerals
true.
are pointed. Oh, here's some Rain support here. Some Carbot drawings there. Yeah, I mean, the natural expansion for you on Coliseum is pointed towards the direction Mini's pushing from. I mean, there are some cases where you could look at a map and say, oh, you know, that's actually, you know, not a bad spot for this player. But in this case, oh, man.
Bad for Rain.
Bad for Rain. Very bad for Rain.
Okay.
Now, that, of course, means that you'd have to go for Reavers, right? We don't always see Reaver tech in this matchup.
Yeah, not always.
But something worth keeping in mind here.
So does the early gateway placement tell you much? Because I look at this, and Minis is more poised to rally out of his base, it feels like. Whereas Rain's right aligned. Not sure what to make of that.
I'm not sure either, actually.
Okay.
It's
because sometimes things like that actually can mean.
Yeah.
It kind of broadcasts your intention. You have your gate right up at the front. Well, that means that your Dragoons get there, you know, just, what, a second quicker, 2 seconds quicker? Stuff like that makes a difference.
You can 3-gate Goon Rush like we saw. Oh, sick. Okay, I was wondering if we were going to have any 2-gate play here. Now, 2-gate play in general, and it's not always true. Hold on. Is he going to get the scumbag pylon? Hold on.
He wants it so badly.
Okay, I don't think he's going to get it. There's a trick where you make your second pylon as the manor pylon.
Yeah.
And it is like... It's so hard to deal with because, you know, the rush commences so quickly.
Yeah, I do want to mention, I feel like part of the reason why he's doing this is the last game, Rain skipped a Zealot, right? And like you said, if you're playing against something like a 2-gate, that's going to make it very, very difficult. Now, he scouts it, throws down his second gateway. No Cybernetics core as of yet for Rain.
So I got to go big picture here because this is really important. In general, pros deem getting the gas earlier a little bit better than not getting the gas earlier.
Sure.
But you'll still see 2-gate. You'll see it a lot on ladder, but you'll see it even in the highest level of play. Now, the reason why getting the gas earlier is a little bit better is mainly because you're going to get your tech out. You'll end up, I mean, eventually Dragoons become more important for most of the game than Zealots are. Reavers, tech like that, oh my God, great play here. So we see already a pylon place there. What he wanted to do is try to throw a Nexus up. Mini getting the 2-gate Zealots up, and what he wanted to do is force Rain to stop teching, get ready for a Zealot rush, and then sneak a Nexus up.
Oh, wow.
But Rain is just so on top of everything, he actually pops a pylon up there, slows it down, and is getting ready to make a Nexus of his own. So we've gone into very, very reactive PvP early on.
And look at Rain. You know, he's got his gas. It seems to me like he's safe, and he gets his Nexus at the same time as Mini, and it seems to me like, based on what you're saying, this was part of Mini's plan from the get-go.
Yeah, so some of you guys might be watching saying, well, when I play, everybody just 2-gate Zealot rushes every time. Yeah, that's the idea, is that you could have put that pressure on and tried to kill workers, but what he does is once you start to get into a defensive posture, he pops a Nexus up.
Yeah.
Which can't be counterattacked, by the way, because it's Coliseum and it's on the high ground in this isolated area.
Or you can send your Zealots over to fight your Zealots. That's pointless.
Yeah. But Rain's reacted so well, he delayed it with a pylon of his own, and then he threw up a Nexus of his own. So now we're getting into a PvP that we just never get to cast. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, really, really different. Very cool. But as you were saying, as it techs up a little bit, maybe Mini has that advantage due to the location of that natural for Rain, how droppable it is for him.
Well, I don't know that you want to go for Dragoon Reaver right away either, though. I mean, this is kind of a weird game here. Rain does have more gas. He mined a little bit more. He stopped it, and then he went back.
Yeah.
You can see Rain right now has gotten about as little as he could get for Zealots. By the way, Manor Pylon as the rush starts. Beautifully done here by Rain. Rain is just always making the best decisions ever. He makes this matchup look so easy.
And look at this. 5 Zealots come over. He has 5 of his own, but there was a Manor Pylon on his mirror line as well. Zealot's going to go up this ramp. Not that many probes there. But, of course, if they engage on a ramp, they could get a little advantage.
This is the biggest ramp you can get in StarCraft, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless it's like Ride of Valkyries.
Yeah, so, you know, you can't really use that to have your Zealots block that area off and try to take a fight here.
Okay, so did he just beat 5 Zealots with 5 Zealots losing 1 probe and 1 Zealot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure. Okay, he does end up dropping a second one.
The funny thing is the Zealots are basically expendable.
Yeah.
Once your Dragoons start to come out, I mean, they don't hurt, don't get me wrong. They're not useless, but they're definitely, you know, cannon fodder at that point in time.
This is feeling very good for Rain again.
Yeah, I like this all so far. He's going to go 4-gate Goon. I was wondering about that. You know, if you go for Reaver, they might end up getting the contain on you. Now let's see what Rain techs for. Does he go 4-gate Goon as well?
Yeah,
so
that's
far,
an interesting question.
No reveal here.
What do you do here after you gain that Zealot advantage?
Well, I think he feels safe. There's the Robo. I think we're going to see Rain basically do the same kind of tech. Yeah, just a little bit later.
What is optimal if you're going to sit on these 2 bases on Coliseum? What's your optimal production look like?
Well, first of all, we want to point out someone should be going for contain pretty soon here, right?
Yeah.
And so the contain unit is the Dragoon. I mean, Reavers are helpful, but you can't contain with just a Reaver. You can contain with just Dragoons. So I would say maybe even like 5 gateway,
5
Dragoon Observer.
Okay.
And then you basically, even though you can expand, you might not. You might actually just keep making Dragoons and try to get a contain and probing them with Observers and trying to get a read on what they're doing. Now, already we see Rain has initiated the contain.
Has that high ground advantage.
Yeah.
Against 4-gate, like maybe he will. There will be a way to break. Of course, he does have high ground here.
If you want to see a really great play here from Rain, it would be to make a pylon on that high ground.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know, units in StarCraft, they prioritize attacking units over buildings, but if you have a building in the front of a fight, sometimes some of their attacking units in the back of the fight will auto-target the building because they haven't gotten in range of attacking units, therefore not becoming a factor when the actual attack goes down.
You have to use move commands on him to get him up to actually attack, so it's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, he's making some Zealots. Those definitely can tank a bit as he walks out. But all the units that Rain has that are on the high ground obviously will do a bit better. Okay, shows what he's got there a little bit.
Yeah, the Dragoons and Zealots have backed off for a little bit here.
And Rain's going to get out of here. Look at that decision making.
Yeah, beautifully done.
During this, it looks like he's maybe prepping for a 3rd base.
He might. He got the contain up. It looks like he evaluated the situation and says he's not certain of himself. Note the skip and Zealot tech. The Zealot legs sometimes is a good way to break a contain. If it's a later Reaver tech.
That's true.
And so he might have identified that and said, you know what? Let's back up for a little bit here, because if you get overwhelmed and beaten up.
I wonder, because we've seen that before in KSL PvPs, where you get contained and you go into Zealot legs as opposed to Reaver, and it seems to have worked better. So I'm wondering if that was maybe part of Rain's plan there, because he is so droppable, right? If Mini goes into Zealot legs and Rain goes Dragoon Reaver semi-defensively, feels like slight advantage to Rain. Especially considering he's negated the thing that's so weak about his openings position.
Right. Well, also, I mean, Reavers just beat Zealots. I mean, Reaver is like the anti-Zealot. I mean, even more so than an Archon. You will nuke so many of those units. But we got the Templar Archives coming up here. I don't know if anybody wants to expand just yet. We'll see. Mini's still behaving as if he was contained, but Rain might actually move back out like this and then go for the contain again. He might have just wanted to make sure he doesn't die to anything silly.
Yeah.
Like Zealot legs finishes as the shuttle is inbound.
Okay.
And I think he's going to come back out here, and then we might see like a clogged contain here, where he actually is making pylons and batteries and just kind of.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is great. And keep in mind, you can actually have the Reaver even pop into the natural.
Look at those Zealots run.
Now I'm surprised he actually. Okay, so
I don't think he'll push all the way. I think this is just covering for Reaver shots.
Yeah, he just wants to get a few hits there, and you see all those connect.
So nice. So nice. Look at this, backing up. Oh, beautifully done by Rain. Wait, is Rain actually going in?
I don't know why he would go in here.
Yeah.
I guess this is right before Storm finishes, but I feel like it would be so difficult to penetrate this that I'm kind of stunned here. He does get the Templar, nicely done.
Yeah, his Reaver is doing some serious work, and with no Zealot legs yet? Oh my God.
Okay, hitting the shuttle. Looks like the shuttle will get away.
His Reaver, it ends up dying, but he got a hell of a lot of damage out of it.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
This is the clog contain. You're just never. I guess what he wants to do is when he gets in that fight there, just hold on. Does he have an observer?
No, he's making cannons. This is
Oh
going to
my
run
God.
past. Okay, he sees that it is running past. He can prepare for that.
He
at
even
home.
tried to move to make it look like he had an observer, but Mini caught the bluff there.
Does this kill both of them before they warp in?
You'll be. Well, watch this. Watch how funny this is. That thing is like at 90% completion.
Yeah.
And he's still going to kill it before I would have ever gotten a shot off.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, cannons are just the worst thing ever when they warp in.
Oh my God.
That's why when you see these DT rushes and the other guy's trying to get a
Why are
forge
they
out
like
in a
that
cannon,
when they're warping in, but then they can
I don't
kill
know.
my siege tank when it's in siege mode?
Yeah. It's one of these funny things because the futility of a DT, a cannon trying to make against a DT, it cannot be emphasized enough. Now, this DT is going to kill some workers.
Oh, man.
That's something. That's really something, and I don't think that Rain has actually caught on yet.
Yeah, look at that. Sidestorm going off on the Goon. The contain is still very strong here.
Yeah.
He has that shield battery as well. Look at that. Healing up through the Sidestorm. Beautiful move, but
Rain
this
has-
DT at home.
Okay, Rain only just realizes DT is getting kills here. Now, this is a game where the economics may be less important than the position.
Still no Zealot legs or anything like that. Brings his Reaver into the side here. Looking for
can't
those
believe,
big hits.
You know, with this shuttle that has like nothing as far as HP goes, I'm always just stunned to see that Rain is willing to do stuff like this. But I
Paceless.
guess he knows exactly how to take a lead and bring that into a win. And as the push comes in, I mean, he just has the overwhelming majority of units.
Fortune favors the bold. In this case, absolutely it was Rain. God, he just every position he gets himself into, no problem. Beautifully, beautifully played.
Yeah, that's going to be a win here. Mini just got stomped once again. A beautiful, usage of that clog contain there, where you just don't get to leave. And because that's such a threat, it forces Mini to try to play the hand that he has, right?
Yeah.
Try to attack out. Even though the DT got across the map and did damage, Rain has a superior fight on the high ground. After Mini's lost that fight, Rain comes in for the killing blow here, and that's what we're seeing right now. And this should be GG in just a second, and we'll be going into Game 5.
Wow. Rain right now up 3-1, looking just so dominant. Drops one game to his own micro error. And
Look at Mini.
Mini, yeah,
He
really
looks
on the ropes.
very, very frustrated. You know, Mini is one of the more emotional players we have here in StarCraft, and to be honest, Rain is one of the most zen players I have ever casted.
Oh yeah, he seems like nothing really bothers him, but he's won so much at this point in his life. Why should anything bother him?
Yeah. So, again, Coliseum, you get your expansion up right away, but they can still contain you. And between the high ground, the narrow exit you're trying to get out of with your army, and then you incorporate Reavers, cannons, and shield batteries, you're not going to break it. Mini tried to play around that Reaver tech, try to get Zealots with legs and Dragoons, but Rain really intelligently used his Reaver to target down some of those Zealots to where they're not going to be useful. They don't have Zealot legs yet, and when they do, there's no Zealots there because they were killed by the Reaver.
Yeah, the only moment that really looked good for Mini was getting that DT in on the other side, but not enough units to hold on.
Yeah.
Or to break the position, I guess, actually. Rain is pretty good. He's pretty all right.
We're going to be going to Game 5 in a little bit here. Mini needs to come back. I don't know how he does that.
Well, what map do you choose now? He's been choosing all the maps that play out really funny funny ways.
Not just that, man, but even if he picks a map that's good for him and he wins on it, he has to win all the rest of the maps too if he's going to take it. We're going to a break. Why is this hard for me to say every time we close out? We'll be right back with the KSL Finals.
지금 저그 6시로 러커드라 볼 거예요. 보세요. 오잖아요. 그럼 스캔 뿌려서 잡을 준비해야 되는데 막아야 되는데요.
잘 맞추는데? 근데 나랑은 좀 안 맞네.
맞추는데 안 맞는다는 건 또 뭐야. 해설은 예측 해설, 무당 해설.
역시 해설은 샤우팅 용준자.
용준이 형, 형 주무실래 어떻게 해요?
왜?
형 찾아요 지금.
아까 그 선수야? 조 선수 한두 경기를 안 끝나거든.
아직 절반도 안 했어요.
이거 날밤 새겠네. 나 이대빵이 좋은데 또 찾아.
한두 판 같은 소리 하고 있네. 20판은 걸릴 거다. 응? 아니 20시간은 걸릴 것 같다.
나만 찾아 이놈의 인기. 나만 찾아.
근데 형은 뭐 먹는 것만 생각하세요?
선수가 전병력 한 방울씩 갑니다. 자 상대 앞마당 멀티 밀어냈고요. 다음 이제 생산 건물만 장악하면 지지. 그렇지. 이럴 땐 역시 박하닉 풀업세이드 탱크에 싹 다 녹아. 이건 뭐죠? 사이렉 스톰.
아이 간만에 날 잡고 하는데 잘 안 되네. 어머 도와주세요.
자, 오늘은 어떤 명승부가 펼쳐질지 명경기 속에 명언이 터지는 거거든. 지지?
사드론이 뭐야 사드론이. 짜증나네. 명언보단 예측이지. 다시 무당에서 가자.
너의 플레이, 상대방의 플레이, 게임의 승패까지 모두 보이는구나. 이거 질 것 같죠? 그러면 제가 흐름 아는데 해설 바꾸겠죠? 제발 맞죠?
에이 빠지게.
할게요.
그렇다면 MC 용주.
쇼입니다만이 상대 선수 프로브까지 동원합니다. 프로브까지 동원 탱크 1번은 센주가 됐고 1번은 통통통통통통통. 이제는 병력 없어요. 제제.
역시 해설은 예측이지. 역시 해설은 명불허전 엄대엄이지. 역시 해설은
뭉치면 살고 흩어지면 죽는다. 해설을 위한 해설의 게임을 시작하자.
예측은 감이 아니라 실력입니다. 나의 실력이 선수의 실력이 된다.
나의 샤우팅, 나의 열정은 선수의 즐거움을 위한 것이다.
이 모든 게임의 주인공이 있고 이 모든 게임은 하나의 이야기지.
한 분밖에 안 남았네 지금요. 네, 이거 들어가는데요.
설마 이겨요?
네, 이거 와! 그렇죠. 이길 수 있어요. 저희와 함께라면 당신도 프로게이머가 될 수 있습니다. 당신만을 위한 위대한 그들의 해설 시작하겠습니다. 스타크래프트 전설의 목소리 팩 전격 출시.
야, 나도 한 판만 하자.
What's up? We're back at the KSL. Mini is in hot water. Right now, Rain has a 3-1 lead. And I don't know that Mini can catch up here. Rain is exhibiting all the aspects of a god-tier Protoss player. Perfect decision-making in the build orders. Excellent usage of Reaver's Shuttle Micro. Good positioning with his Dragoons. Reacting well, like for instance when that DT got in and killed an innumerable amount of probes in the last game. Rain decides to pull the trigger, go for the fight, he wins. I don't know, Overwatch is going to be our next map. Can Mini come up with some kind of a solution? I hope so, I really do.
I think he's probably got the series planned out to a T, but he hasn't been able to show us, to be honest, really anything that looked better than what Rain had. Now it's a two-player map, so there's a little bit more prep that you can do because you already know where they start.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to utilize that, but right now, Rain is looking really poised to win himself a KSL.
Absolutely. We are going to be going to the map Overwatch 2.2. Do we have proxy game? Should he try it?
Gosh. I mean, I would like to see him do it. I think he needs to try to take control of the matchup in some way or another.
Yeah.
But Rain's decision-making overall is vastly superior to everyone else's. So I feel like whatever you do to him, he already knows how to hold it.
Yeah. This is so tough to call. Like, what are you supposed to do against Rain? Anyways, Our series continues. Rain versus Mini. Rain up with a 3-1 lead. Let's go.
So
no
the top
probes
left Mini, huh?
I was just saying no probes sent out.
Like he's
Bob,
making
why are we
probes.
trying to
What
cast
are
him
you
with the
talking about? Rain in the bottom right. Okay. No sweet clue what these guys want to do.
That rhymes.
Mini's in the blue.
Ooh, now look at that. Oh.
Big Mini fan in the audience.
She's trying to hide behind her phone. It's not going.
Look at that blurry Matt Sherman
Yeah,
behind.
that phone is kind of like the pylon in the Dragoon versus Dragoon fight that you put in the front. Keeps you kind of safe.
Takes those extra hits. Hope
It
you have
takes you-
insurance.
yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, okay, you're getting outclassed by someone that makes better decisions than you.
Yeah.
What do you do to pick up a map here on Overwatch? And you didn't proxy.
I would say try to do some kind of DT play.
DT play?
But
Okay.
I don't know if you can do it on this map. The thing about DTs
Well, that was part
is
of the
like,
question. Overwatch.
If they get held, well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's a lot you can do really. On this map, because you're on a ramp, you're on the high ground. A lot of the risky play, the only thing you can try is DTs, but because they can also hold off a 3-gate goon rush on their high ground, they probably have observers too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't.
It's a hard one.
One thing about Rain is that he kind of gracefully maneuvers through the matchup in such a way where he gets to get away with his strategy and usually is able to tick off all the boxes in the process of stuff that, making sure that he can't just be killed or all in. And that's one of the kind of crazy parts about what he's doing is I think most of the StarCraft experts in the world would have assumed that PvP was the closest matchup to a poker game there is.
Yeah.
And that you're trying to lie, you're trying to bluff, you're trying to mask what your real intentions are. And therefore, it should never have such a high win rate. But instead, you've got Rain, who's like an 86% win rate here. And everybody that he's played against, he's basically 3-0 or 3-1. And now we're here in this finals as best of 7, and Rain's up with a 3-1 lead. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, he's in there scouting right now. Did take a hit from that Zealot, so a little bit lower health on his probe.
So the Zealot just combs the main here to make sure there's nothing weird, no hidden anything.
Can occur. These are really big mains on Overwatch. Neither of them really going to find anything, though, because no one's playing cheeky in any way.
Right. And so from here, I would imagine this game just goes into a standard PvP of either there will be some Reaver pushing or just expanding and teching.
Okay. Kind of hoping that we get a big macro game going on. Sometimes we have these games in PvP where it gets past Dragoon Reaver and it turns into lots of Zealots and Archons running around, still some Dragoons in there, Storm Drops coming out. Those types of games can be very, very exciting.
One thing about Rain, though, is he seems to be able to steer the game in a direction where it's usually over before that starts.
Yeah.
That's what's so phenomenal about him.
It seems like no one's been able to keep up with what he's doing long enough to get into the late game.
One funny thing about PvP late game is if you wanted to show somebody basically what an RTS looked like, you can show them late game PvP. It's just very straightforward. Okay, these armies are all moving around.
Yeah.
You can see that they're both trying to expand. And there's actually a lot to army positioning. Both armies are very fluid in PvP. Kind of the opposite of TVT, where you're kind of gluing parts of your army to the map and then trying to unglue and then glue back on. PvP you're able to roam very freely and rearrange very quickly, but it's a very, very interesting matchup, just in general late game. If we get there, I hope we do. But by the way, okay, now this is Rain doing something. There's no robo, right?
No.
There's nothing, right? Okay. So this is Rain, again, cutting corners.
Yeah.
He is getting 3 gateways. Now, he expanded, but he's getting the 3 gates. So he's doing what you call blind man's PvP, where he's going to have more muscle on the map, but he's not going to know what in the hell is going on Mini's side of the base. But the thing about doing a style like this is, let's say they go for a Reaver push. You get to have your expand, and you might even hold the Reaver push off, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
and
Mini,
then you get, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Mini, it looks like he's going to take his base, so is he going to do a quick push or no?
Well, we're going to have to see if the Nexus comes down. I think right now Mini's trying to get a read. Now, the thing is, Mini's already behind no matter what he does because there's a Nexus coming down, and the Observer's out, but there's no Reaver tech, there's no Nexus here. Now, I don't know if Mini can confirm that this is actually up here or not.
He's actually coming over the bridge. He has one more Dragoon than his opponent and gets that first volley. Very, very important. The Zealot almost dead already. Oh, well, this could be tough.
Well, there should be another wave of 3 Dragoons coming down here. There they are now. So he's probably going to be fine.
Yeah, but I like this move, right? He got a few probes at least.
Yeah, not bad.
And he knows what's going on.
I think getting probes is never a bad thing, but Rain is going to have way more probes in the long run here. On some level, he might have been hoping that there was some kind of like a Reaver that was going to come out on the low ground and there was less Dragoons, and he kind of kills that and starts to win the fight there. But instead, I think Rain is way ahead in every way. And keep in mind, now Rain has an expansion that's being mined from. He has more Dragoons coming out incrementally. That's crazy.
You can't attack over that little tiny bridge as of right now. Definitely way too dangerous. So will he walk around and just go for it?
I don't think so. I think he might walk around. I don't know if he's going to go for it, though.
Yeah, it seems like it's a long way to walk up and have that fight.
Well, I guess if he goes up around, which he is doing, maybe I'm wrong here. He goes around, he can actually then filter more units up to where across the bridge here.
Look at this. He's actually just going for it right now. He's actually the first one to lose a Dragoon. Loses 2. More Dragoons are coming, though.
Yeah,
and as they come, maybe he can continue this push.
Mini actually having a little bit of a hard time here. I think he's getting stretched to the limit. Okay, hold on. Rain's Dragoon bugged on the ramp. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Now, just think of how much more Rain would have dominated in this fight had he actually gotten over there.
Yeah, now we're got 4 goons that are going to be on low ground here, and they've damaged. Freezing goons, man.
It's tough. If your Dragoon ever gets stuck in StarCraft, you need to grab it and spam the S key 2 or 3 times.
You can hit hold position, and then it'll move as well.
That'll work as well. Now, there is Reaver tech here for Rain. So he's kind of getting out of the blind man's PvP and getting into proper PvP here.
My gosh. Kind of interesting to see that a lot of Rain's problems so far, Eddie and here, is mastering that Dragoon movement. Definitely need to keep that fluid. A Reaver is out, so it doesn't seem like any sort of breaking is going to occur. Feels like we're going to go into a later game.
Yeah, I think we absolutely are. But keep in mind, if you tech into Reavers, like Rain's doing, you're going for a mid-game where you're going to look for a fight. If you go into Citadel tech, you get a very, especially if they both do it, you get a very quiet PvP for a while. The mid-game is sort of, they both retract from actually attacking each other. But instead, we're going into a pretty big brawl PvP here.
Yeah.
Both going shuttles, probably getting shuttle speed here.
I would imagine.
Right now it's Rain with the contain, but contains in PvP, if you don't have your macro engine really kicking in, it can act as a double-edged sword. It's certainly possible for them to Reaver drop you, especially with shuttle speed, and kill probes there, and then your contain is meaningless because they'll outproduce you and break out anyways.
Well, I'm excited to see when Mini actually gets his shuttle out here. Is he going to start moving right away?
Do we have a Citadel for Rain? I didn't see one.
I don't think he has a Citadel yet.
Zealot leg tech gets kind of wonky PvP if you're both going for Reavers. Okay, it looks like he's going to get it now. Yeah, Zealot legs, sometimes you actually want to get Templar tech even before the Zealot leg upgrade because Templars kind of mute the power of Reavers pushing because the Storm just, it damages both the shuttle and the Reaver. And it's quite strong.
Yeah, Storm is quite deadly in this matchup.
So,
or any matchup, truly.
Rain with a pretty modest contain here just over his own ramp. Due to the nature of this map, by the way, you can have an observer watching over your own natural and it won't be picked off.
Yeah.
One of the bigger features of PvP on a map like this is you know, do you have a way to just watch your natural continuously? Templar Archives coming.
Yeah, both sides really going into the same direction. Already 6 gates up for Rain. Mini gonna get there as well, though.
I'm sorry, did Mini actually get the Templar tech?
He has a Citadel now.
Okay, but did he get the Templar tech though? I don't see it.
We didn't get to see yet.
Okay, just something to keep in mind is that if we don't see the Templar tech, maybe he's actually just getting Zealot legs. Okay, all right, there we go. I thought maybe he would do some kind of really weird play here. Good scouting by Mini to get rid of this Observer. It is paramount at the highest level of PvP that you're making sure there's no observers in your main. Even though you basically know what's going on, it's just so important to get rid of that.
Confirmation is so good.
And forcing them to make another observer and all that.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't seen a shuttle move, so I don't know if they got shuttle speed or not.
Yeah.
It's very trendy in PvP to get shuttle speed, particularly because in the late game of PvP, Templar drops onto probes, the Storm drops onto probes are the most powerful thing that there is, because probes die faster than anything ever if they're Storm. Like, you basically can't pull them away unless you've preempted the micro motion.
So 8 gates for Mini. Rain throwing down his Nexus. I believe he's on 6 gates right now. Getting his Templars out, lots of Zealots as well. Little DT to send out on the map.
Okay, Archon's coming in here now. Interesting, he got 3 Archons there. I would have thought he would have gotten Storm and kept a few more Templars out. That's actually kind of an unusual number.
You know what?
He might be trying to actually go for a fight here.
If you're going 8 gates on 2 bases,
yeah, he's going to go for a fight.
I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah. He's just looking for power here.
So
that's it.
Mini wants to try to take a fight and maybe crush Rain, who's going for a more... Rain's tech is more conventional if the game goes on for a long time, but if Mini ends the game immediately, then that doesn't really matter, right? So Mini's going to come out on the map and just try to go for a real serious push here.
You know what? As soon as he sees the Archons, though, I feel like Rain knows without any doubt exactly what's occurring here. There's no third base. He knows it. He knows where the army is. He knows that there's Reaver tech. He saw the Archons. This is such a huge amount of information for him.
It really is.
He knows that, like, all you have to do here is hold on, and you have that third Nexus.
Right. And there's no sign of a Nexus coming down here from Mini. In fact, there's a pylon that Rain made that blocks the natural third base location. So Mini is going to go for a fight. And if Mini can win this, he will bring us to another game. Otherwise, Rain, if he holds on, he should have an advantage.
That is a huge army right there. Rain running away, giving up this ground. Oh my God, that Storm was one of the grossest ever.
Yeah.
Another great Storm going off there. He does drop out his Reaver. There's 2 Reavers here for Mini. He has so much power in this army, but more Side Storms going down here from Rain.
He's continuing to storm on top of that shuttle. And it looks like Mini might not be able to break, but he's going to try to push forward anyways. We see some DT actually coming here as well, I don't believe. Oh, Mini does have an Observer.
Okay. Well, very important right there. Rain's going to find that out in a couple seconds as his DTs are going to get picked off. Having a very tough battle right now. Mini might have enough to break through. A great Reaver shot does go off from Rain, though.
Again, these Reaver shots doing so much. Another Side Storm goes down. Beautiful connect, taking out those 3 Dragoons. The Reaver goes into the high ground. Meanwhile, Zealot's coming into the natural.
Wow, really great macro here from Mini. He's trying to flow in here. Another Storm goes down. Those Zealots definitely getting weakened. Here comes the shuttle as well. I don't know how many Reavers he has left, though.
The probes are being pulled. We don't see the third base taken out yet. We don't see the natural taken out yet. One drop takes out many more probes. The Archon goes down. Another shuttle coming up, though. I believe this should have the Reaver in it here for Rain.
I think you're right about that.
You can see Mini was remaking Zealots over and over and over again as they have the fastest travel speed, but in some ways they're not optimal to take on base locations that can be clogged by probes.
Well, he brings his Reaver over here. This is Rain's defense of his third base. It feels like he really needs to keep this alive if he's going to win.
Oh, great shot there.
Oh my God, that Reaver sitting there with almost no health left over. The cannons being taken out of this base. Mini doing a good job, but here come the Dragoons of Rain.
The shuttle goes
away.
Not down. It gets away. Sorry. Oh my God, will he actually catch this? It looks like the trajectory of these Dragoons could end up stopping this, getting all the way back home. Mini's shuttle's on the one right now. By the way, Mini scrambling to get a third base up in the center left location right at 9 o'clock.
Oh my
he's
God. Really trying to get this shuttle so hard right now. Going after the shuttle.
Shot fired, but it looks like this is going to be an execution here. The last Reaver goes down. Tempo right now going to Rain as far as economics go with DT on the map.
Oh,
and I don't see an observer here.
That one DT, such a savior right now for Rain, pushing that army back when part of his army was out of position from chasing the Reaver. Now Rain starting to take a little bit of map control. He's getting his units together and getting in the center.
So, Zealots, Dragoons, Archons have gathered up. But I think Rain might just have too much muscle on the map, even if there's some fancier tech over here for Mini with the Archons in that group. Now, Mini's location, it is feasible to hold this, but the DT is going to come in here and start wiping out detection.
Oh, he still has a Reaver. A lot of Archons in here as well. A big Dragoon count for Rain, so those can fight the Archons very, very well. But the Reaver adding a ton of damage, as are the Zealots. 2 Reavers for Rain. He actually lets one die almost instantly. Picks up that other one as a Scarab comes in, though, and starting to get some great connections.
Keep in mind, Archons are not great at all against Dragoons. In fact, they're quite bad. Meanwhile, the probes are beginning to be executed. The cannon will finish, however.
He'll end up saving that base and the rest of the drones that are there. A lot more units flowing out right now for Mini. But Rain coming up actually gets a great Scarab off there, kills the Reaver. And is he going to be able to take down this base?
Mini scrambling to try to save his third base. If he can't keep this base alive, he is going to lose this game. We do have one Dark Templar over here. I do not see an observer here for Rain.
No, I don't either. And that means that this DT can get a ton of work done. But the base remains up, at least for now.
Good job here by Rain, sending a few Zealots over here to drive these probes back out. Meanwhile, a game of cat and mouse over here at the bridge with the DT and the rest of Mini's army.
Look at that, he pulls away now as Mini turns around. Rain starting to control this game quite a bit. Mini still in it though, running over here to clear out these Zealots, but Rain not even gonna sacrifice those.
Rain does escape over there. More and more army is beginning to group up. We've got Archons finishing. Keep in mind, everyone, we don't know that Mini has Storm yet. I imagine he does, but we haven't seen any Templars. He's consistently making Archons, which tells me he made a tech sacrifice to try to get tempo advantage here, and it didn't work, and now he's trying to get a third base up with possibly inferior defense.
Well, looks like Rain might be going for a counterattack. No, he actually turns around against that Reaver Archon defense. I don't think he even saw that, but good star sense here from Rain, running down right now to engage this army of Mini. Uh-oh, Mini unable to even run that Archon away. Rain gets a free kill at the beginning of the fight.
And now he's going to be able to push up the ramp? No, hold on. A shuttle's coming through here, and it looks like that they could either have Reavers, it could have Psystorm. There's a lot you could be doing with this right now. And it is going to be a Storm drop, and about as good of a pull away as you could ask for here.
He has another storm, though. He has more storms.
There it is.
Oh, my God. Mini's economy just shattered right there. But hold on. Another fight going down. Mini's Reaver getting some good hits. But these size storms from Rain, unbelievable. More and more units funneling up.
Just insane control here. Rain with larger numbers and great size storms continues to push forward here. And I wonder, can Rain actually just come across the map and trounce that expansion of Minis? It doesn't seem like Mini has very much going for him. He's lost. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my. Oh, he saves it. One Dragoon shot from death. A beautiful storm on that ramp, though, really dealing a lot of damage to this army. The defensive Reaver doing the best it can. He's targeting the Nexus again. He does end up getting it. Rain sacrificing quite a few units, but getting an important kill.
Yeah, Rain pops the Nexus, and he could choose to stay and fight or go back and macro up more. It's really his game to lose at this point in time.
Oh, some really clutch control right there from Mini. Keeping his Reaver out, keeping everything alive for the time being, but the supply of Rain is really eclipsing Mini at this point.
And now I think Mini wants to try to seesaw the game with a counterattack, but Rain just mathematically has He has so much more and is in such a better position. I can't imagine Mini taking this fight here.
No.
Even with the best pot shots from a Reaver.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of good ones. A nice storm comes out here from Rain, and Mini's army just about gone. GG, and that is it. Rain is the KSL Season 3 champion.
With a storm killing the last shuttle off, Rain closes the KSL out, victorious 4-1 against his opponent, Mini.
Just amazing play here tonight from Rain once again. 4-1 over the second best PvPer that we have seen.
Rain is the best PvP of all time. I mean,
Easily.
He makes it look so easy. By the way, Mini played a really, really great series. He made some very smart moves, but in the end, it was not enough. Rain is your KSL champion. Our MC says congratulations to Rain.
수월하게 만들어내면서 결국에는 승리를 거두게 됐거든요. 와, 너무 놀랐어요. 자, 인터뷰 몇 개 진행해 보도록
Rain has become your champion. You've done it, Rain. You finally won. This is the golden age of Protoss. You've come out on top. You are the best. How do you feel?
우선 오랜만에 우승해가지고 기분은
It's been a while
이게 표현이
since
안
I
돼요.
won a major tournament.
기분 되게 좋습니다.
So I'm very happy. I'm very pleased.
정도로 기분이 좋다라는 말씀이시죠. 자, 지금 팬분들이 일단 굉장히 많이 응원해 주셨어요. 팬분들에게 일단 한마디 부탁드릴게요.
우선
Is there anything you want to say to the fans?
제가 잘한 것도 어느 정도 있긴 하겠지만 팬분들이 항상
Well, I prepped well. I've worked really hard.
가치가 있으셔가지고 항상 팬분들
My fans have always been supportive to me.
뭐 가끔은 뭐 쓴소리도 해주시지만 다 저 잘되라고 하는 소리라고 생각을 항상 하면서 연습을 해왔고 이번 대회를
I know that you guys have always been caring about me and supporting me and cheering for me.
응원이 동기부여가 많이 된 것 같아요. 그래서
It helped me a lot.
저를 응원해 주신 분들이랑 같이 만든 우승이라고 생각합니다.
네, 지금 박수 부탁드립니다.
I made this win for you, for the people that supported me, so thank you.
같이 옛날에 중계를 같이 한 적도 있었어요, 해설위원으로. 근데 옆에서 보니까 눈물이 좀 글썽글썽하거든요. 다시 한번 박수 부탁드립니다. 네.
Congratulations again. Said don't cry.
위기의 상황은 언제였나요?
위기의 상황은 딱히 없었던 것 같은데.
What was the most difficult moment of the series for you?
다시 돌아왔나요?
그게 아니라 마지막에는 솔직히 졌다고 생각을 했거든요. 제가 앞마당에 질럿까지 오면서
Actually, for game number 5,
그냥 조금만 더 버텨보자.
I thought for a little bit I was going to lose control of that game.
끝까지 포기 안 한 게 주요했던 것
I was struggling, but I really focused in, zoned in, and it worked out.
하나하나 끝까지 열심히 했고 마지막에 포기하지 않았기 때문에 상황이 만들어졌다. 자, 근데 이게 스코어가 엄청납니다. 일단 16연속 승리까지 거두게 됐고 마지막에 1패만 하게 되고 결과적으로 모든 세트 스코어를
So you've been on an insane winning streak as of late.
프로토스에 수장이 됐고 프로토스로 이제 최초로 또 우승 트로피를 KSL에서 거둬들이게 됐는데 이 심경부터
And you are undoubtedly the best Protoss there is.
세 번째 세트도 제가
What is that
이길
like?
수 있었는데 제가 실수를 하는
Actually,
바람에 진 거라서 되게
I think
아쉽다고 생각을 하고 뭐
I think I should have even won game 3 as well, to be honest.
또 아직 남은 한 명이 있어요. 곧
It was really
오시는데
close.
네, 그분이랑 하고 싶네요.
좋습니다. 자, 지금 우승을 하게 되면서 가장 생각나는 사람은 누군가요?
아무래도 팬분들이 가장 생각납니다.
자, 다음으로 생각나는 사람.
He just emphasized he wanted to thank his fans one more time.
네, 제 여자친구요.
And my girlfriend.
자, 그러면 지금 이 무대는 모든 분들의 시선이 정윤종 선수만 바라보고 있거든요. 이 자리를 빌어서 영상 편지.
Everybody's got their eyes on you now.
만난 지 얼마 안 돼가지고.
Is there anything else you want to say?
남기기는 좀 그런데 예. 돈 벌었으니까 맛있는 거.
To my girlfriend.
네, 좋습니다. 자,
I did it.
팬분들에게 진짜 마음으로 또 얘기를 해주셨는데.
I think he's gonna buy her a nice meal. I think we got there.
하신 분들이 굉장히 많았어요. 현장에 계신 분들을 위해서 따로 네 감사의 말씀 전해 주시죠.
네, 아무래도
Anything you want to say to the audience?
되게 많은 분들이 와주시고 네, 응원해 주셔서 정말 감사드리고
I want to say thank you for coming down here.
열심히 할 수 있는 선수가 되도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 여러분 큰 박수로 맞이해 주시기
I'm
바랍니다.
always going to try to be the best player I can be. Let's see if the MC has anybody else he wants him to talk to here. We are going to have a runner-up interview. Minnie's going to come on stage now. Please give a round of applause for Minnie. How do you feel?
져서 너무 아쉽고 다음 시즌은 이제 우승할 수 있는 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
I really tried my best. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm going to try to play hard and do well next season.
특히나 지금 현장에 가족분들이 굉장히 많이 찾아와 주셨거든요. 가족에게 한마디도 부탁드립니다.
일단 응원 와줬는데 이제 져서
Anything you want to say to your family who came to the studio today?
다음번에 꼭 우승하는 모습 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
자, 그리고 마지막으로
Thank you for supporting me. I'm going to show you better games next time.
변현재 선수를 응원해 주신 팬분들에게 진심을 담아서 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Do you have anything you want to say to the
응원
fans?
많이 해주셔서 감사하고 이번 시즌은
I want to say to everybody who's been
아쉽게
supporting me, thank you so much.
좋은 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
I'll be showing you guys better matches in the future, so don't give up on me.
자, 이렇게 해서 KSL 시즌 3 시상식이 이제 시작이 됐습니다. 자, 이제 KSL 시상식 바로
It's time for the award ceremony. Uh-oh. Yep, that piano can only mean one thing.
Yes.
It's award time. Dun, 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 dun. Someone's gonna get a big check. Will we have flowers this time? Because it's hard to hold a check and flowers and a trophy with only 2 arms.
Did you ever think of just making jingles instead of commentary? I think you'd be
I'm
better
gonna
at it.
get into the pop business, Artosis.
Yeah.
Just start making pop songs. Dun, 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 dun. Who's gonna get to give away the? Oh, of course it is.
Matt Sherman.
Matt Sherman, you can you. You're giving that award away, aren't you?
He is.
You're a Blizzard guy.
At least
You
the
get to do it.
runner-up one.
Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Minnie has more money than you. Who's watching at home? You have a normal job, and he doesn't. It's just
Wow.
yeah.
It's an excellent song.
Yeah, it's great. But who could it be? Who's gonna give the bigger check away? We're getting all musical theater here, man. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, could it really be true? Is it? I don't know who. Oh, wow. Blizzard Entertainment CEO. That's right. He gets to give away the even bigger. Well, actually, it might be the same size, but the number's higher.
Yeah, and that's what really matters.
Dun, 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 dun. Just like, you know, when you beat
I feel like the credits should be rolling right now. This is the end of an RPG,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
what all our characters are doing now
That's
that
right.
they've disbanded.
Yeah. We get to see all the names of all the people. I go, wow, there's a lot more people involved in the sound in this game than I appreciated.
Yeah.
Wow, even a team in Germany? That's cool. Look at that. There's a Latin American team that helped make the game. All these people that came together to do this. 30 grand. What if he put it all on black in 160? Because life isn't fair for you, viewer.
He would, no doubt.
No doubt.
We saw his build order choices.
Yeah,
He knows what he's
He knows
up
how
to.
to gamble for sure. No, no, no. All right. That is going to do it. That's it.
Yeah. It was a fun night. We got to see the Starcraft's skins that are going to be coming out in the future on July 10th. That was really cool. We got to see kind of a fun match between the Marine and Ace to show that off. And then, of course, we got to see that rain Nothing's changed. He knows PvP better than everyone by far.
Yeah, and we got to see ourselves in these cool outfits they gave us, Artosis. I got enough extra
Tasus
room
brought
in
in
this
his
blazer.
2 favorite suits, and you're each wearing one.
If I unbutton this and jump off of a building, I can feel like one of those flying squirrel men gliding down through Seoul. There's so much extra room in this jacket they gave me. This is fun. I love doing KSL. Special thanks to our subs, Rapid and No Regret over at GSL for filling in for us while we did this finals. There's too much StarCraft going on. We're all over the place.
Not enough is what I say. It's another wording of it.
That was a terrible thing that I said.
Yeah.
You're right. Not enough
Not
StarCraft. But yeah, guys, definitely go buy those voice packs.
Yeah,
or those
yep,
Korean
check those
casters.
out.
Support them.
Yeah.
It shows Blizzard that you really care about StarCraft and you love StarCraft. And it's really cool. I mean, you don't get a lot of companies that will support a game that's over 20 years old.
I know, but it's the greatest. And
It
don't
is.
forget that we do have ASL coming up. That'll be next, not like right now, but very, very soon. It's starting the end of the month. It's already been announced. Starts on the 30th of June with the qualifiers in a couple weeks. And then, of course, after that season's done, KSL 4, anybody?
Yeah. I will do a KSL 4. It's just been a great year for StarCraft so far, and we got plenty more to come. And how long do you think this part of the song goes for? Oh, we're never going to find out because we got to close it out. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this season at KSL. Be sure to continue to watch us at the GSL Code S for our StarCraft 2 show. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. Bye-bye.